Trauma-Focused CBT for Children by Brittany Starkey. Trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy is an evidence-based treatment for traumatized children, adolescents ages 3 through 17, and their parents or caregivers. It targets emotional impacts, providing skills for children and families that help address behavioral problems. This includes various trauma ranging from a car accident to trauma from war. Treatment can take 8 to 16 sessions, with complex traumas ranging from 16 to 25 sessions. The approach has been proven to be effective across various studies and has the strongest evidence base to date. The remainder of this presentation will break down the major components of TF-CBT, but first we need to know what they are. The major components of TF-CBT can best be explained and remembered from the acronym PRACTICE. Highlighted in green, you will find that P is psychoeducation and parenting, R, relaxation, A, affect modulation, C, cognitive coping, T, trauma narrative, I, in vivo exposure, C, conjoint parent-child sessions, and finally E, enhancing safety and development. The first phase of treatment is the coping skills phase. The first and second component is psychoeducation and parenting. It is important for the therapist to explain to parents and caregivers what TF-CBT is in order that they understand its relevance to treatment. According to Cohen, Berliner, and Minorino, this can be done by demonstrating the connections between the child's trauma experiences and their current behavior problems. Psychoeducation can also include identifying triggers, trauma's effects on child's developing brain, and the like. The third component is relaxation techniques, in which the therapist teaches the child how to manage physiological reactions to trauma, such as muscle tension, increased heart rate, and rapid breathing. Children can learn to cope with these reactions through techniques such as mindfulness, yoga, coloring, songs, dance, blowing bubbles, and much more. The fourth component is affective modulation skills, in which the therapist helps the child manage their affective responses to trauma. Here, the therapist will work on skills such as problem solving, anger management, remaining present, and obtaining social support. Last in this phase is cognitive coping, where the therapist will connect thoughts, feelings, and behaviors related to the trauma. These skills are fully utilized in the next phase, the trauma narrative and processing phase. Here, the therapist has the child gradually construct their own detailed trauma narrative. In this phase, the child will utilize all skills up until this point to process. Additionally, the child has an opportunity to share their trauma narrative with their parent during conjoint sessions. A trauma narrative can include drawings, photographs, or be through writing. The last phase of TF-CBT is the treatment consolidation and closure phase. Here, the therapist will first focus on in vivo mastery of trauma reminders, where the child will work on overcoming their fear related to the trauma. Next, conjoint parent-child sessions are focused on, which are heavily activity-based. Once the relational component is achieved, the therapist can move on to the final component, where safety plans are put into place as well as maintenance strategies. Finally, this presentation will close with a video that will show what the trauma narrative may look like between therapist and client.
Good, my dear. I had asked you last week at our last session if you'd be willing to do some homework for me and write down your trauma experience in like a notebook or something. Did you bring that with you today?
Yeah, I have it over here.
Okay, and how are you feeling about it right now?
I'm feeling okay, kind of anxious, but I'll read it.
Okay, anxiety feelings are very normal when talking about this kind of experience. While you're reading, I'm going to stop you a couple times, see how you're doing with it. I'm going to give you a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, calm, cool, collected. 10 being like ready to break down, okay? So you tell me how you're feeling when I stop you, okay? So go right ahead, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So I was sleeping and it was the middle of the night and I had school that morning. I remember waking up to my mom yelling and I couldn't hear what she was saying. I smelled a strange smell and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you there. How are you feeling so far? Scale of 1 to 10.
Like a 7 right now.
Okay, and why is that?
Just because I knew like there was definitely something up, and in that moment I had no idea what it was.
Okay. Keep going whenever you're ready.
So I went to my mom's room to see why she was screaming and so upset, but I couldn't even see the hallway because it was covered in black smoke. So I was so afraid. I went back to my room and tried opening up the windows, but my room's on the 2nd floor, it's just way too high to jump.
Okay, and right now, how are you feeling? 1 to 10?
Like a 9.
Like a 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just felt trapped.
Okay.
I was so afraid. I kept hearing her screaming, so I went back to the hallway just to try to find my way out and find her. But I couldn't see or breathe, and I thought I was going to pass out.
Okay. How are you feeling now?
A
1
9.
to 10. Still a 9?
Yeah, just totally trapped, and I thought we weren't going to make it.
Okay. I know it's really hard to talk about this, but you're doing an excellent job.
I found my mom by the stairs, and I held on to her. We made our way down the stairs out of the house, but we both didn't have anything with us, no cell phones. So we went to our neighbor's house, and they let us in, and we called the fire department. And by the time they showed up and put it out, most of the house was gone. And I just remember standing on the lawn, crying, and thinking we lost everything.
Okay. I have to commend you. You did an excellent job reading through that. How do you feel right now? Scale of 1 to 10.
I feel maybe a 7.
7, and why is that?
I think just writing it out and saying everything out loud, it's kind of helping my anxiety, just talking about it.
That is good, dear. And, the more we talk about it and the more we work on it, the easier it's going to become. This is only the first time we're touching upon it in this way where you write it out. But the more and more you read through it and the more we go through it, the easier it is going to be to talk about it.
That's good to hear.
So, you did a really good job. I can see that you're still a little anxious. If you want to work on our controlled breathing, we can do that now too. Bring you back down a little bit, relax you a little more. So if you want to sit back. Okay.